All right, welcome back to Bar Talk, episode 7. We are doing something a little different today. We have my sister Abby on here.
Hi, guys. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, super excited. This is awesome. It's a little different.
I wanted to be the first guest.
You mentioned already you want to get into like childhood memories.
Yes. And just the difference of childhood when we were kids versus childhood now.
Right.
I feel like it's so different. I'm 29.
I'm 32.
He's 32, so it's very different nowadays. And seeing kids grow up now versus kind of what we had. And every generation's going to say that, right?
Right.
Our parents say
Exactly.
the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think our generation's different because we grew up in a time where like we were still living in kind of like we're 90s kids. So
Right.
we didn't have cell phones right away. We didn't have computers, internet. You know, everything was still pretty like raw, I guess.
Yeah.
You know,
We still had to be, we're on that fine line of still, you have to be outside and play.
yeah, until dark.
Right.
Or like you have to come home and do your homework and do your chores until you can play or go outside or hang out with your friends.
Right.
And like, I mean, even, us living at home, like if we were inside on a nice day, like that wasn't really allowed.
Right.
Unless there was a legitimate reason. So
And we didn't want to be inside.
no, we didn't. Like,
If it was storming or, it gets dark out, okay, we'll go inside and play our video games. But
right. But like, I mean, look at the summer, like where we lived when we were younger, we had multiple friends in that neighborhood.
Yep.
We had a local swimming pool. We were out there every day,
Right.
doing, playing sports, playing on the playground, hanging out with friends. Like, and like you said, yeah, we didn't want to be inside.
Right.
And like, sometimes it was even like when you had to be inside, it was kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
You know,
I want to go to the pool today.
Right.
We always wanted to be at the pool.
all the time.
And even just getting electronics into that. I mean, phones didn't come out till I was in middle school.
Oh man.
So think back to our first phones real quick.
Yeah, our first phone. Like we had like an open face Nokia or like a flip phone.
Remember the phones that the keyboard slid up? And
Oh, sweet.
If those came back, I'd use one.
Oh yeah. I think you can get them now.
Someone was just telling me that, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I would. Because then you don't have all the distraction of social media and just being tied to your phone constantly because we can.
Right.
Yeah,
and it's funny because like even when we had a phone, it was just to call mom and dad,
Right.
or like send a text.
Yeah.
Like you didn't even text your friends. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, eventually you did, but like even then we were
But
like,
our first phones, it was only phone calls.
and we had to pay for texting.
Yeah, I
Like,
remember learning
it was
how
like so
that
many
works.
cents because we both got in trouble a couple times, which was crazy. But
Yeah, I remember the very first. Do you remember the black flip phone? I don't remember what kind of phone. And it had that light on the outside that was rainbow when it rang.
Oh yeah.
And I walked to elementary school because we lived 2 houses
Right.
down.
Yeah.
And so it was, you take it off the charger when you leave for school for emergencies, and when you get home, you plug it back in.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because when you think about even like that time, we rode our bikes around the neighborhood with all our friends. I think even then we didn't have cell phones on us.
No.
I don't remember. At least we didn't. But like you had to be home by dark or like you were in trouble.
Right.
And I got in trouble a few times.
Yeah. And I know our parents were the same way, so they probably instilled that in us,
Right. Right.
But I feel like today it's not necessarily kids' fault, but it is hard for them to be able to go out and just do those things just because of the world we live in.
And I think you're right. Like I think technology's the biggest problem. I think that's probably where where the roots of it are. Because as soon as because I think I got my first iPhone when I was 18, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, because I was
just out of high school.
I was 14, 15.
Yeah.
That's when they came out.
Right.
I mean, we might have got them a year later.
Yeah, we
but-
were a little late, but still, it was so crazy. And I can't imagine what life would be like now if we still weren't in this era now. Like if at our age now, if we were in that same
If it was
kind
still
of
like that.
yeah, I couldn't imagine what life would be like.
I know. It's weird to think about.
Because we didn't even have even though things were out, we didn't have our own computers or anything until
Right.
later. We were probably I was almost out of high school by the time I got my first laptop. Internet was new to us, and social media was just taking off. Facebook, I think, had just
Right.
been around a couple years.
And even I feel like if it was still how it was back then, it would be easier to go and do things. I
Oh,
say
yeah.
that because now, being an adult, I feel like it's hard to think of things to go do.
It
Versus
is.
back then, it's our imagination was just running wild.
Right.
Because you had to think of what to go do because you didn't have a phone to hop on when you were bored.
Yeah. Yeah, because even now, I mean, you can waste so much time at home just sitting on your phone.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not like, I try to be good about that, like, because I'm a gamer and I'm a musician. I like to spend my time at home doing that kind of stuff. But even from time to time, I'll find myself like sitting in front of my monitor with my PlayStation on, and I'm scrolling on my phone.
Right.
And I'm like, what the hell am I doing?
Right.
Like, I'm wasting time looking at nothing, you know?
Like I'll occasionally look at my screen time and I get pissed and I
Yeah.
try to figure it out for a while and then it'll just happen again.
But I
'Cause
think
it's there.
it happens to all of us though. And, you know, it's bittersweet when you sit and think about like our childhood and like, because our parents' childhood was obviously even crazier than ours.
Yeah.
Because they
And
had
more so like that.
yeah.
Like they didn't have electronics at all.
Right.
But also they were always out doing stuff.
Yeah, and like now, like you said, like trying to find things to do, it is difficult now because like everyone's in the same boat. So like,
Right.
unless you're going to concerts or like going to like sports events or something or movies, like aside from that, like the creativity, like creative side of it is kind of gone
Yes.
in a way. Like, you know, lately we've been, you know, thinking of like we go to the park, or like this weekend we're going up to Geneva to just go to the lake.
Right.
And like that's stuff like that you would originally do, but like nowadays you don't think about it as much.
No.
You know?
And I think it's more like I think kids nowadays are creative in different ways.
Right.
Like a kid that can whip together a TikTok, I'm like, and it's
Yeah.
all edited or, you know, on social media with YouTube, editing videos. That's creative, but it's more like the imagination of just day-to-day life and things and going and doing things outside off of a device.
Yeah. And like podcasting, you
Right.
know, like I know you wanted to talk about that. Like,
Yeah.
what did you want to touch on that?
So when you guys talked about this idea, I watch podcasts. I prefer to watch rather than listen.
I do too.
Sometimes I'll listen if I'm just, you know, in the car driving, but I
Right.
prefer to watch. And it's just such a cool concept. And I think I got into it during COVID, which is when they kind of popped off.
Yeah.
Just because everyone was stuck at home. But a friend and I even went and watched a podcast live.
That's cool.
And like people are doing that, and that's really cool. I just watched a documentary on a podcaster and just like seeing the logistics of everything. The Call Her
Oh, the
Daddy.
one on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I have to watch that
Just
still.
like to see like the, you know, what really goes on when someone comes to fame out of nowhere, and
Right.
you know, it's literally a podcast. Like
and a
how
lot of
you
the
make
times
it
that's like
big.
not even the intention.
Right.
Like a lot of people do this just because they want to sit and talk and
Yeah.
spread their ideas and opinions on things, and then like eventually it gets traction and then it takes off.
Right. Because like Call Her Daddy, for example, was more so like that. I believe. I think it was just her and her friends, and then it popped off, and she got deals. Versus, I watched the Canceled podcast with Tana Mojo. That's the one I went and saw live, and she was more well known beforehand, and then
Okay.
started this. So she kind of had the platform.
Right. So her following went to the podcast.
So that makes more sense. But like
Yeah.
getting famous out of nowhere for a podcast is crazy.
Yeah, and even some of the ones I listen to, like, you know, it's everybody starts in the same place. The first one I ever listened to, Alexa showed me, is called Morbid, and it's these two girls from Massachusetts who talk about like true crime. I think they're either cousins or no, Elena's her aunt,
Okay.
but Elena's like my age and Ash is like 20 something. But it's cool because it was like a little family dynamic. They started during COVID, and like they were doing it in the laundry room, you know, like just audio, no video.
Right.
And even today, like they only do so many video episodes, and like they do shows all over the country now,
That's
which is
insane.
insane. And like I listen to two guys that do movies. They same thing. And now they're getting invited to like red carpets and stuff to do stuff and interviews with actors. Like it's so crazy how like it, I mean, and that's the thing. Like if you find, and any of you listening, like a podcast can be literally about anything. And if you gain traction and someone's interested enough, it can literally go anywhere.
And you never know.
And like you never know until you just try it. And like, you know, that's kind of the whole reason we started doing this.
Right.
Just because like we all like sitting around and talking about things, and like being able to just record it and share it with everyone else, I think is just fun.
Yeah. And it's cool to see people reflect on their like come to fame, I guess you could say, like on the Call Her Daddy podcast documentary. They're actually visiting the town where their apartment was, where they started the
Oh,
podcast.
that's cool.
And they're visiting outside, and these four girls are like, "Oh my God, you guys lived here?" And they were like, "Yeah, we really want to like try to get in there, like just to like show it."
That's
They
awesome.
lived in that exact apartment.
Wow.
So they brought them in, and it's just super cool
That's really cool.
to even see people look all the way back and like reflect on how it
yeah,
started.
that's awesome.
But yeah, that was all I wanted to share on
Cool.
podcast. But
Yeah, and I think with having you on here today, this kind of opens the door for like we're gonna try to do a lot more diverse setups. Like it'll always be 2 people for right now, but it'll be different faces every few weeks, I think. So, which I think is fun. It kind of changes up the topics, get new stories from people firsthand and stuff like that. So
Right, and I already have people in mind that would be good on here.
I do too. I have a few.
Like our brothers and
like we do actually. We do have one of our brothers will be on here next week.
Oh, really?
With Brad, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Brant will be here. So that's pretty cool.
And just get like different point of view on not only topics, but I like podcasts where they're talking about something, but then they like tell stories.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like you're hanging out with your friends.
Exactly.
And then people like share their stories relating to it in the comments, stuff like that.
I was speaking of stories. I was just thinking about where we lived.
Yes.
So I don't know. This just hit me because I saw. I drove past I don't remember which one it was, but I drove past a local swimming pool the other day. And
I drive past Greenbrier all the time.
I do too. It made me think about. Do you remember when it was always like in the evenings in the summer when like we'd cook out?
We always grilled out.
Every
night.
we were like basically picnicking with our neighbors every day. But like we would finish grilling and eating, and we would always do like a night swim.
Yes.
And we'd go there like not it wasn't dark yet, but like we'd go in the evening, and like all the like we would basically spend the entire day there because we'd be hanging out with all our neighbor friends, swimming, cooking out, and then like we'd talk to everybody, and we would see all those same faces like 4 or 5 hours later at the pool, hanging out again until it closed.
If they didn't eat with us.
If they didn't eat with us, yeah. It was just so crazy. And like, that's another thing. Like we don't do stuff like that anymore.
No. And it like felt like, you go on vacation and you eat, go to the pool, eat, go to the pool. You're with all these people. Like that's what it felt like.
We did that at home.
It felt like you were like on a vacation in the summer.
Yeah. And even like we would go out to like other family members, like their houses with their pools.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the same thing. Like there was cooking out, playing games in the yard.
I just want to know if kids that age now feel that way when they have like family gatherings.
Right. Or if they even do stuff like that.
I don't know.
Because, I mean, where I've lived and stuff the last, decade, like I just haven't had access to stuff like that. But, it's just one of those things where like I just miss that whole setting and hanging out with people.
Yeah. We have so many memories at that place specifically.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I mean, the pool, obviously.
I mean, we'd get kicked out of there at night. Like she'd come close the pool down and everybody was still there.
Right.
I mean, we waited until the last minute. It was so fun.
Yeah.
Which also, I almost drowned in that pool because my stepmom forced me into learning how to swim in the deep end of the pool.
Yeah.
And it was so stupid because, it's just like riding a bike. Like
you got to do it.
You're afraid because like you're anticipating getting hurt. I think every child goes through that. But when you're kind of forced into it, but the stupid thing about it, and to this day I'll thank her for that, but like she threw me in the deep end because she was sick of me walking around in the 3-foot end of the pool, and she just pushed me in.
The oldest one, so it's not like we could help.
I panicked for a moment, and I literally it's like second nature. Like you just adapt.
It's like putting a dog in water.
Yeah, and then of course, I'm like, look at me. I swam in the deep end all day after that, cannonballs and like jumping in and stuff.
After you were all scared running around.
And I'm like,
the pool.
oh, look at me, I can swim in the deep end.
Oh gosh.
So fun.
Yeah, I remember I taught Colin, our brother, taught him how to ride a bike, him how to swim.
Yeah, you did.
He didn't get thrown in, but we didn't have a deep end at that house.
No, he didn't have to do chores either, though. So
no, he talks about it to this day. He jokes with his mom about it. He's like, "You made Abby and Jordan do everything. You didn't make me do shit." He was the baby.
Yeah, I always think about like, it's kind of cliche to say this, but we were like Cinderella in that story, Like, Colin was the 3 stepsisters, basically.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's just how it felt.
Wait, that's funny to think about it that way. He would agree. So
yeah, it's just goofy, but
he'll also, if he's ever on here, he will talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
I will not go into detail, but I did cut his finger off.
Oh my God, she did cut his finger off.
He talks about it like every day. Every time he meets like one of my friends or he's around family members that know about it, it's brought up.
Right.
It was an accident, but I did cut his finger off.
So to go off of that, which it kind of relates to do with me, in the pool that we hung out at. So one summer, I think the summer it just started. The pool just opened, but all of us were down there at the pool one day, and this was when like you still had like smoking areas in every public place.
That's weird to think about too.
Isn't that?
When we were
like
little.
Smoking or non-smoking. Remember we go to tracks,
hotels, restaurants,
and like we would always get the smoking section with them because that sucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're at the pool, and our stepmom smoked, and we'd set up at the umbrella table, the same routine every time we went. But they had those, and if people are old enough, they remember local pools had like coffee cans full of sand that you could ash out in. Sue had me. I was already in the pool, but she had me. She's like, "Hey, can you go get me one of those? Get me an ashtray." I get out of the pool soaking wet. I pick it up. These things weigh
They're
like
heavy.
15 pounds.
Yeah, with
you
all
know?
that sand packed
You
in
know
there.
how big a coffee can is. And then when it's full of sand, it's so heavy. So I'm carrying it over, and I'm soaking wet, and it slips out of my hands and lands right on my big toe. And it cut halfway down to the bone and broke my toe. And it was one of those moments where, like, I was in a little bit of shock and didn't feel a thing.
Yeah.
Like, there was no pain, but there was blood. And, like, it was like, holy shit, that just happened.
Right.
You know, Dad picked me up and carried me to the van, and him and I spent, like, the next 4 hours in the ER getting stitches on my toe
X-rays.
and x-rays and all that stuff, and a tetanus shot in it and
Oh, yeah, 'cause
everything.
that-
So rusty.
That's gross.
And then I spent the whole summer in a boot
Yeah, that was literally the beginning of summer.
and went back to school with it on, too, at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the summer. It was terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
Why did so many things happen? Like, I don't know. I feel like I got hurt more as a child.
I did, too, because remember, I have the
Then
scar
I
on
was
my
going to bring
leg.
that up. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Slid on a log, slid open your shin.
Yeah, down in the middle of West Virginia at a cabin. Oh my God, there's so many stories of us getting hurt. Now that I'm thinking about
Me and
it.
the sparklers and you and the snake. We'll go there next.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, so our grandpa has a cabin down in West Virginia, and of course it was after like a rainy day, and all of us and our cousins are in the woods running around in shorts, and I slipped and a stick on a log sliced my leg open. That was pretty bad. That definitely needed stitches.
It was bad at the time.
It was bad.
And now that you've grown, the scar is like so small.
Yeah,
but
it's not that
you
bad.
were little then, so
Right.
it was long.
Yeah, Mom was pissed.
Papa butterflied it.
Butterflied, band-aided it.
I mean, we were in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, we're like 2 hours from a hospital.
Like,
And it wasn't that bad.
yeah, it ended up being fine.
But
And then when I was, how old was I? 2?
were you that young?
I think Mom said 2, 3, or 4,
Jesus.
something along that. Our Papa always threw these 4th of July parties. He lives out in the middle of nowhere, has all this property. They set off fireworks. It's a good time. And as a kid, everyone always wanted to have like the sparklers and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like 2 or 4, I don't remember. And someone lit sparklers for me. And me being a little kid, I'm attracted to the shiny bright part, right? I fucking grabbed both of them like this. And I got burns all over my hands.
All your fingers.
And once again, beginning of summer shit.
Right. July's like beginning of summer.
Yeah. But the worst beginning of summer is definitely your snake bite because it was
Oh
the first
my
night.
God. So
I remember because we were older. I was
I had just graduated high school.
so I was like going into my sophomore year.
Uh huh.
Yeah. So we vividly remember.
So this was also in West Virginia, I think.
Yes, that's where that cabin was.
Okay. So this cabin was out in the mountains, like higher elevation of West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're from that area or know it, the terrain is terrible. Even to drive up there.
Right.
To get to the
Like,
top.
you need
it's-
4-wheel drive.
Yeah, it's bad. But anyway, so we get there first day. It's our parents and all our brothers and everything, and we're staying there for the week. And we had like all this stuff planned: whitewater rafting.
Mm-hmm.
We had zip lining, all this stuff planned to go do. And then there was a pool and all this stuff. It was really awesome. So the first night we're grilling out, and our youngest brother wanted to go hiking. Me and my 2 brothers go on this little hike, and like first of all, the cabin's already at a high elevation.
But it goes higher.
And we follow this hill that goes like it's at this incline for probably 10, 15 minutes. And so we went up it. It was like 80 degrees. It was humid. We walk up this hill. We finally get to the top, and it was like a flat top. It was really cool because you could see the tree line for miles. It was really awesome. But then it started getting dark.
Right.
So we started hiking back.
And me, my mom, and Brad were all like in the cabin thinking, it's getting dark. You know, Mom's starting to freak
Yeah,
out. Like,
right.
I hope they're headed back.
Yeah.
And we had no service at this cabin
Right.
that I remember.
Nope. So we're heading back, and like I said before, it's on an incline. So when you're coming down a hill, it's very steep, and you know how when it's so steep that you're actually like grabbing onto trees and things, because if you don't, you're gonna fall. So we're grabbing all these trees coming down, and we're moving really fast, and the sun's going down. It's getting darker the lower we get,
Right.
Because the sun's gone.
Yeah.
You know, and at one point I grabbed onto a tree, and I felt this insanely painful shock in my ankle. And I immediately thought I like twisted my ankle, broke it or something.
Because you're moving so fast.
Yeah, I'm
going
like, oh
downhill.
shit, I just sprained my ankle, and I'm like, I can't feel it, and so like I'm like limping, and my ankle's bleeding, and it was a copperhead that was coiled,
Which we did not know at the
which
time.
we didn't know right away.
Yeah. What'd you know, like 12 hours later?
Yeah, in the ER.
Yeah.
So we finally get back, and it was already swollen, wasn't it? Yeah.
A little bit of blood. Nothing
Blood.
crazy, though. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Nothing, like, majorly concerning.
Right. Like everything was fine. Like we put stuff on it. We took some medicine, whatever. Well, the next morning, which I can't believe we waited this long, I woke up and my leg was massive.
All the way up to your knee, right?
Yeah. So like my ankle was like, it almost looked like a broken ankle. Like when your foot gets swollen and all that.
Which I never saw it. You woke up how early and you and Mom left?
It was like 7 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
And I was in a lot of pain. Ryan was still sleeping. I like literally had to crawl up the stairs. And they were like, oh my God, we got to go. And so Mom and I went to this local doctor. Because again, you're not near a city where there's an actual hospital.
Yeah.
And I got checked in, but I passed out in the waiting room. They put me in a wheelchair. And
I don't
this
think I remember that.
Yeah, this nurse, so she put a cold washcloth on my neck to wake me up, which was scary. Because I literally like lost vision. I blacked out.
Right.
It was crazy. So they got me in for testing, and there was like this Indian doctor, and he was going over everything. And he's like, yeah, that was copperhead venom. It's in your bloodstream. And
Mom's shitting her pants.
you know, like at that point, because like I'm 18, so like I'm terrified. They're telling like you could lose your leg, you could die, like all this kind of stuff. Because like venom's like all the way up to your knee.
Yeah.
And a lot of times in those scenarios, people get amputated for stuff like that.
Right.
If it's spread that
And it was more likely that than
than dying.
dying, at least, because you had gone all night.
Right.
So that was kind of out of the picture, which I guess that's good, but still,
Yeah.
it still could have been very bad.
But because of the
With all
facility we were at, they didn't have anti-venom. So they put me in an ambulance to drive me 2 more hours to another facility in Virginia now. And remember, this is the second day now of the first full day of vacation.
Yeah, so all of us, there was like a pool central to all of the cabins there. So me, Ryan, Brant, and Brad were just like, because they left, like we're not going to be able to help, you know?
Right.
So we all just went to the pool, and we literally sat there all day just waiting to hear. And we had no service. So like it was
That's
spotty
terrible.
on if we could even get an update.
So I got taken to a hospital. What the crazy thing is about over this whole thing, they never cut it to drain it. They never gave me anti-venom. They never did anything. They basically like kept an eye on me for hours.
And gave you pain meds.
And gave me pain medication, and then gave me crutches and sent me on my way. And then that entire summer, once again, I was laid up
On crutches.
at home. My graduation party was like maybe a
Yep.
month later. I went to
You had a
YSU.
tour for at YSU.
At YSU, I was in a wheelchair for college tour
and
orientation.
stuff. No, and it being that happening on the first night of vacation. Speaking of video games and shit like that, growing up, you weren't allowed to do it. They convinced our parents to let them bring their PlayStation or Xbox.
Yeah, we brought an Xbox with us.
And that never happens.
Right.
But luckily, they did, and he was at least
And
able to
I played
do something.
Xbox the entire time because what else could I do but sit on the couch?
Because, like, you came to the pool and the beach with us, but the beach was hard.
That was hard.
But, like, whitewater rafting, we still went on it. You couldn't go, but at least they fell for it and let you bring the video games.
Yeah, that was all Ryan's idea
Yeah.
because he wanted to be able to play it. But you guys got to go do everything, which is so crazy to me to think about that I didn't get to experience any of that stuff.
I know.
Like you did,
Mm-hmm.
which is
It's weird. You were just, like, laid up in the cabin.
yeah.
Because we were, like, debating canceling everything, but it's like we paid for it.
Right.
We felt bad you were back, and it was a hard thing.
Do you remember at Myrtle Beach when I got stung by the jellyfish?
It's always something.
I'm like, and maybe that's why I'm so cautious now with life.
Probably.
Because you don't think about it until later on, but it's like I've been hurt a lot
Yeah.
over stupid stuff.
Right. Versus me, that's not really happened, so I don't think about shit
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have. I remember the oh my gosh, when we would build those forts at Dad's house. What happened to Colin?
Wait, what?
The poison oak.
Oh, in the woods. I thought you meant in the basement.
No, so
yeah, the poison vines on the tree.
Yeah, at our dad's house, our brother Colin, his mom still lives in that house to this day. Had a nice backyard with a pool, bonfire, but then there was woods that led out to a field, and we were always in those woods. Like we were
Even in
making,
the wintertime.
like we made our own trails. We'd ride our bikes back there, whatever.
Played airsoft back there.
Yeah, I'd get shot by Colin all the time because he's a little asshole. But we found this vine everywhere. We don't know what the hell it is. We're little kids, whatever. So we're taking it and we're finding like 4 trees and we're making like walls
Yeah.
essentially. And we did it all day.
And you and I had like snow clothes and gloves on.
But like even that,
Yeah.
we were fine.
Right.
Wake up the next day. Colin looks like a sumo wrestler.
Yeah.
His
He looked
face-
like the guy from the Goonies.
I wonder if I have the picture and you can put it up. I'll have to get his permission. But I think he sent it to me recently. But his eyes were shut, like pretty much.
Yeah.
And he started freaking out because the way we reacted when we saw him. Like he felt fine.
Yeah.
He felt fine. But once we
I
saw
remember him
him, and
crying.
I can only imagine our faces, he freaked out. And it ended up being poison oak. So
Yeah, that's
and we were
crazy.
fine.
Oh my god.
But some people are more immune to like reacting like that, like poison ivy too.
Yeah, like do you remember our cross country coach,
Which one?
Dustin? Was it Dustin Shanker? Remember the Shankers?
The smaller one or the bigger dude?
The older one. He
The
was our
older one?
coach. Maybe you weren't in cross at that point.
I can't remember his name.
But anyway.
No, I was because I was a freshman when
Oh
you were
yeah.
a senior.
He ran us through a patch of
course he
poison ivy, and me and Jesse and a few other people got it. But luckily, like I think I remember I washed with like dish soap, and I caught it before it got bad. But we did get it because we ran through like a wood trail that had all poison ivy.
If that's the same coach, I remember one day, and this was my first year doing it. I rolled my ankle like off a sidewalk in
Oh,
Canfield, and like I made it back to the school, but I wasn't finished with my run. It was like a long run that day.
Mm-hmm.
And he pretty much told me that like, I just need to finish it. And then no one else knew what happened, and I was running so slow, and everyone thought I was just
Yeah, I
being,
didn't-
being like stupid. I'm like, no, like I hurt myself, and he told me I need to finish. Which in reality, it probably wasn't bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
You know, runners roll their ankles all the time.
right. And that was
but-
just the first time, and I can't tell you how many times I've rolled my ankle
Oh
since
yeah,
then.
me
But
too. That's
oh,
crazy.
the cross country days, running like
In
10
the
to 15
summer.
miles a day.
God, those were terrible.
Yeah. But like fun at the same time.
Yeah, like soccer and cross country were like my most memorable sports moments, especially in the summertime.
Not your 6th grade basketball.
No.
That's actually memorable for me.
Why is that?
Because I cannot tell you where we played, who you played for. Was it for Canfield?
Yeah, it was Canfield.
Okay. I just remember you were in like 6th grade.
Yeah.
So it's like basketball at that age is like pretty shitty. You
Yeah,
know?
it's like whatever.
I
Middle school
remember
basketball.
we'd go to games, no matter the time. I would get a popcorn and one of those big ass pixie sticks.
Oh yeah, okay.
It could be 9 a.m. and I was
Yeah,
doing that.
that's
Or like,
crazy.
remember where we played our soccer games at all the time, like on the same day?
Dawson Town Fields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like different age divisions, but we'd pretty much be there all day.
All day. It was.
We'd always go get like buckets of fries and
Oh my
lemonades.
god. I specifically remember like all the Gatorade and I forget what snacks we had, but it's Rice Krispie treats.
Mm.
That's what it was.
Yeah, that brought like a core memory back to me was Abby, our sister-in-law. Their kids are starting sports and
Mm.
everything, and they were talking about, oh, we have snack this week, and I'm like hearing it from her point of view, like
Yeah.
that sucks as a mom.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta buy the whole freaking team snacks.
Yeah.
But like as a kid, that was like the best thing to look forward to.
Do you remember the
after a game.
cross country snack tables?
Yes.
They were crazy.
To this day, that's how it is.
Is it?
Like, because I'm an athletic trainer.
Oh yeah, right.
So I work with sports teams, and my track coach and cross country coach, they will bring so many snacks for the kids.
That's awesome.
Because it's just one of those sports. It's different than others. Like, it's not like you just have a halftime and,
No.
you know, an end of game meal, whatever. Like, it's an
one
all day
of-
thing sometimes.
It's one of the most active sports because you're running for a consistent amount of time.
Right.
It's not like you're running and stopping. When you're in the sport, you're running for
Till you're
that
done.
full amount.
Yeah.
So you're like replenishing electrolytes, hydrating, eating food because you need to.
Right. Do you remember? You would have been a senior. I was a freshman. I forget what meet it was, but it was hot as shit. And the boys always ran first. And I remember the boys were dropping like flies. It was so
Oh,
hot.
yeah, I
and
remember
we
that.
were wondering, like, are the girls going to run? And we did. I remember halfway through, I stopped. And I sat in some shade because I felt like I was
Yeah,
gonna-
a couple boys passed out, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people did.
It was bad. I felt sick. I remember I had a headache.
I remember being like scared to run because it was so hot.
I remember that one. And then, do you remember the one where it was insanely cold and we all had like our warm up gear on until
know.
we ran? Like we took it off like at the
Oh,
starting
yes,
line.
yes. I do
And
remember
it
that.
and it was the same meet where you had to run up that steep hill.
Is that East Palestine?
I think it's East Palestine.
Because Anna and I were just talking about this. I think
It
might
literally
be-
had like roots sticking out. Like you had to like grab onto to
right.
run up
There was
the
like
hill.
a rope if you wanted to use
Yeah,
it.
yeah. There was a rope.
Kind of a fun course, but like crazy.
It was just nuts for a high school course.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it like a
Because
Tough
there was
Mudder
like
right now.
it was the one that had like all those like mulchy hills
Right.
that went up and
Which
down.
like that part's kind of fun.
It was fun, but man, sometimes I don't miss that stuff.
No, and like it takes your summer up, but
Cross country was probably my favorite sport though.
yeah,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah. I mean, I did love soccer though, because like I played 8 years of soccer,
Right.
or 8 or 9 years, but that was
I think I played about the same amount, so that
yeah.
makes sense.
Because I even played for them after we switched to public schools.
Yeah, we still played for St. Joe's.
We still played for them for a year or two.
I quit everything else to dance because it took up my whole life.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and then I got into theater more after that, and,
Right.
which was fun.
Remember how they always wanted me in theater just because I could dance?
Yeah, I always thought you should have.
And I just didn't want to because now that I'm older, I can kind of see it. But I always thought of theater as like singing. That's it. And like acting. And
Yeah, I mean it is
can't,
majority of that.
I can't, that's just not me.
Right.
So to think like, oh, you just want me there to do that when I know I'm going to have to do these other things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that was something like, especially doing musicals, like I started learning more dance stuff through that because I wasn't a dancer before.
But you learn.
But like I learned some jazz
And
and
you know
tap
music.
yeah, right.
And that's like the biggest part of dance is
Mhm.
understanding music and hearing it and listening to it.
Right. Yeah, I miss a lot of. That's another thing I kind of wish I would have continued with after high school was
Mhm.
like community theater
Yeah.
or something.
I always think about dance. There's these places with like adult classes, and I've always wanted to like.
That's cool. I feel like it's never
Go
too
back.
late though.
It's not.
You look at all these like even down at like Youngstown Stambaugh and all that,
Yeah.
or Youngstown Playhouse. Like, there's people I went to high school with still doing shows
Yeah.
like every month.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's something I've wanted to do. Like things you enjoyed so much as a kid, I'd love to like tap back into some
Right.
of that as an
Yeah.
adult. Because you kind of steer away. Like for me, I went away to college.
Yeah.
And focus fully on that, and then you get a job, and it's like.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the other problem is like Brad and I talked about in like the first
Mhm.
episode. Like, once you get into that like young adult lifestyle, like you kind of get stuck in a routine a lot with expecting to have a job, pay
Right.
your bills, like have that like week to week whole routine thing going
Yeah.
on, so that like you don't have the time to like have a creative side or do stuff like that.
Yeah. And it sucks because I notice I have more fun when I go out and do something on a random night. Like tonight's Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
Normally I'd be home or working late,
Right.
and then I get home and I do nothing. And there are times where I'm like, oh, I don't really want to go and do that. But once I do it, I'm glad I did it.
Yeah. That's like right now, like I've been in between jobs because our company closed
Mhm.
about a month ago. So I've been on like a weird kind of like bend of just like doing whatever I want now. Like
Yeah.
I've been staying up till like 3 a.m. the last week, and
Schedule's
Alexis and
crazy.
I, she's also transitioning back into another job. So like we're just kind of like staying up and playing video games and watching movies and doing stuff and going out late. But like
Right.
it is weird. It's like those things though. It's like when you're in the regular routine of working and all that, like, and then you get to do stuff like that out of nowhere. It's so weird
Mhm.
because I feel like a college kid again
Right.
out of nowhere. I'm like, wow, I'm staying up late. I'm playing games.
It's like kind of refreshing.
I've even
I don't know.
reconnected with some friends I've been playing with online.
Yeah.
It's just like stuff you don't normally get to do,
Right.
which is really cool.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole staying up late, like, that's how I get. I work different hours in the summer.
Right.
So I've been staying up late for me, at
Yeah.
least. But I think back to like being a kid, like, we stayed up late all the time, right? Like
We
even
did.
when we got like in high school,
Yeah.
like you and I would stay up late playing video games, go get Sheets or Taco Bell,
Oh, especially on the weeks mom wasn't home.
and come back and watch Family Guy.
Yeah, and like Jesse would be over.
Yeah, Mike and Jesse would
Yeah.
always be over. I
Yeah.
don't think we slept ever. That's
No,
why
I mean there were
people
times we
wonder-
didn't sleep.
People wonder why I napped so much. It's because we didn't sleep at night.
Yeah, I mean even now, like I take a 2-3 hour nap in the evening sometimes.
Yeah.
And I could still go to bed later,
Yeah,
which is crazy.
exactly.
Staying up late made me think of at Dad's old house.
I already know what you're gonna say. Ramen noodles.
I was
Is that it?
I was just telling Alexis this the other day because you know what's so crazy? She did the same thing.
Really?
So she has at her mom's house. They have like a how do I explain it? So they have like a ranch house in Austin Town.
Okay.
Above is it above the garage? Yeah, above the garage. Like so they have this like front door on the side of the garage that goes down this hallway and then you go into another door that goes into the house.
Okay.
It's almost like a long mud room.
Yeah.
But before you go down that hallway, there's another door with a set of stairs that goes up into a separate part of the house. So it's basically like an apartment above their house. And that's where she lived most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like she had all kind of rules like we did, like weren't allowed to like do stuff like, you know, after a certain time.
Right.
So like we did, we would sneak downstairs in the middle of the night. We had a separate microwave.
Well, it was in the garage at one point.
Was it in the garage?
At one point, but we had it downstairs.
In the basement.
Because our garage was like a hangout area. Like,
It
we didn't
was.
park cars in there. Like, there
No.
was fridges in there, tables, whatever.
Because there was like a tool bench area and all that.
But
But
this specific story, it was downstairs.
right. So me, her, and Colin would stay up late playing games, watching whatever. But we would go downstairs and like sneak snacks and food up to the bedroom. And we also had like a it was almost like an attic bedroom kind of situation.
Yeah.
Like a lot of houses that have like the room with the roof like this.
Yeah. So it's like an attic maybe.
Yeah.
To the extra
So
space.
we would take packs of ramen noodles
That was like our thing.
and cook them in the microwave downstairs or out in the garage if
If it
depending
was
on
out
the
there.
night.
I don't know.
Because our stepmom works, she was a nurse, so like her hours were weird. And like I think at one point we even started sneaking the toaster out too.
Yeah, we made toast a lot for some reason. Or like poverty nachos.
Yes. Oh
Like
my.
straight
my
tortilla
God.
chips with just shredded cheese.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Or cheesy roll-ups.
cheesy roll-ups. We still do that.
Yeah. And we always had Taco Bell sauce. So
Always.
we'd use that.
You had
But
the one
ramen-
crisper drawer that was just full of like 7 years of sauce.
Yeah. But the ramen was the big one.
The ramen was the big one because like honestly, and I think that's why we had told the story the other night. Her and I made ramen at like midnight.
It's a good late night snack.
It is.
It's easy.
It is.
But
Yeah.
you were making them, or like one was heating up, another was like ready, and then we were like still had to microwave another one, right?
Yeah.
And I'm over here prepping, like I'm like it's like some gourmet meal. I'm opening all of like the
package,
powders,
yeah.
and I like naturally, I still to this day when I'm making things, everything's open, so it's like ready.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, I have to like shake the packets to get them to the bottom. So I had them all open. He had no idea. He goes to fucking take one. Do you remember this? He goes to take one and shake it. It fucking flies everywhere.
Everywhere.
And keep in mind, we're trying to be quiet. This is why we're in the basement making ramen. And it goes everywhere. So then we're like, what the hell do we do? Because now one doesn't have powder. And I remember we went and opened another pack and we left like the noodles in a baggie and they were there forever
Yeah, they were.
because there's no powder for
Right.
them. But yeah, he shook that shit and it went everywhere.
You know that happened to me recently? Not with ramen though.
With what?
So I think we made spaghetti.
Oh, yes, I do know this. Tell it though.
So we just finished baking spaghetti and everybody's got a Parmesan shaker cheese in their fridge. Well, it's in the door and I'm talking to her and just like telling a story. Like I'm just like normal conversation. And it always like when it sits in the fridge, it starts to harden a little bit.
Right.
So I start shaking it and somehow the lid's not snapped and it got everywhere in the fridge, on everything in the door, outside the fridge, on me. It was a mess.
And like those situations really depend on what mood you're in.
Oh, and we just laughed about it.
Because it's great if you can just laugh about it.
Yeah.
But if you're in a pissed off mood and you're about to eat,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
now I got to clean all this up. I have a funny story relating to that. Cody, I was not home.
Okay.
So it's your old trash can.
Oh, the one with the push thing on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you know, like the skinny trash cans, those bags do not come out easy.
No, they don't.
Like you can't
Because it has the
overfill
little ring that you got to
Yeah.
put it on.
So he always like struggles with it. I struggle with it, whatever. So he was taking the trash out. I was not home. It was a little overfull. And he could not get it out. The bag's starting to rip. He's getting pissed off. He fucking yanks it out as hard as he can. He told me trash flew all over the kitchen, everywhere. And Beans, my dog, got all terrified, right? So I don't know this story yet. He forgot to tell me.
Oh.
And it's like a couple days later, and he's taking the trash out again. He goes, "Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you." And as he's about to tell me the story, Beans is there, and she gets fucking terrified and runs away from the trash can. I was like, what? So then he proceeds to tell me the story and then says that Beans was present for it. So now she's like traumatized by our
So now
trash
she's
can.
scared of the trash can.
Yes, but she's scared of everything. So,
Oh my God.
like, you know, when you just get pissed at something.
Yeah, I know.
And you just...
It happens.
Yeah.
To the best of us.
But yeah, the cooking ramen, toast, Why did we make toast so much? Like, we'd go through like
I
half
don't
a loaf
know.
of bread.
Yeah, while we're watching Family Guy or playing Super Mario.
And then as we got older, that transitioned into just going to Sheetz or Taco Bell.
Yeah, that
Like,
did.
when we would sneak out,
Yeah.
but it wasn't to sneak out like normal kids. It was to go get food.
It was just to go get food. It was never to do anything stupid.
No. Well,
I mean,
well,
sometimes.
not really, but let's transition into some Columbiana stories. Because that wasn't really sneaking out. So Brad, who's normally on the podcast, he lived in a town that's like 20 minutes from where we are now. And we'd go over there every weekend because my mom and him were not living together yet. They weren't married yet, whatever. And so we'd spend the weekend there. We always, once again, cooked out all the time, right?
All the time.
And we'd always have bonfires and, hang out outside. And they'd always be having a drink, whatever. So we'd be doing random shit. Which, side note, remember the YouTube channel we started?
Oh my God, yeah.
I have been dying, because it's still up. I've been dying to try to find it.
I know Brant probably knows where it is.
But there's like 2 videos maybe.
Brant's got some
But
funny
remember,
ones.
like, you and Brant had like similar interests and would hang out a lot, and so would Ryan and I. And I
Yeah.
remember Ryan and I were like editing it and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it was the stupidest thing. By the time it got dark, we were all hanging out. They were having drinks. We
Right.
wanted to do something, right?
Yeah.
And so we just would explore. And once again, as a kid, like, we would just walk around the town.
Yeah, and like that's the thing, like that's a safe town, and like they would let us go run around the neighborhood.
Yeah, they didn't care.
And sometimes they would do it with us.
Zombie hunting?
Zombie hunting with Nerf guns was
Yeah.
probably the funnest times ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely fun. We did some stupid shit.
Yeah.
What street was that? It was like a big hill, and we took the golf balls.
That was oh no, okay. I was thinking the potato cannon, which was on Firestone. Like
Yeah.
where the Firestone Park is.
Yeah, because we were in the park.
Yes.
That was stupid. We never did that again.
No. That was dumb. Yeah, the golf balls though, that was
And Brad was pissed because we took all his golf balls. So we essentially took a bucket of golf balls, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
But this big empty street, big hill, we were just bouncing them
bouncing
as
'em down
high
the-
as we could, all the way down the hill.
yeah. That was crazy.
But we would just walk around down there.
And it was fun. Like, it was safe. Like, the cops didn't bother you. Like, there was never anybody out there. And it's an old town, so it's more like old people and families than it is like...
And we weren't causing like chaos.
No, and like, we weren't doing anything bad. Like, we were just hanging out, running around.
Right, just
We
being
did
kids.
Ding Dong Ditch a couple times. I don't know if you were around for that.
Yes.
Yeah, that happened a few
But
times.
like, also when we were kids, that was fun.
It was like playful
But, like,
stuff.
now I
You're
feel like
not
people
like
get pissed.
vandalizing people or, you know.
And even like TPing, I can see. Okay.
Yeah,
they do have to
no.
clean that up. I
Yeah.
did that once as a kid on Deer Trail.
Did you?
Realized it was a fucking cop's house.
Oh my God.
So yeah,
I didn't know that.
we cleaned it up. We apologized.
Oh, wow.
But no, we never did anything that was like bad.
No.
And ding dong ditching back then was like, you knew what was going on.
Yeah, like even when we went on bike rides, like we just rode everywhere.
Right.
Or like some of my other friends, like we'd ride out to this little lake off the bike trail and go fishing. Like
Right.
we weren't doing anything like
No.
stupid, you know.
Definitely not.
I don't know.
Do you remember? I have 2 things that are popping in mind, kind of like spooky things. One relating to Columbiana, so we'll start there.
Okay.
But we need to tell a story of Poops.
Poops.
And this kind of relates to childhood.
I'm gonna say right now, Poops is gonna be a reoccurring character on the show.
100%. We won't go into too much detail now.
Yeah.
Just because I know someone's going to want to talk about it. But relating to childhood, going to video stores.
Yes.
So she ties in here. So growing up, Friday nights, me, Jordan, and our mom, when we were with her, every Friday night we'd get pizza, wings. We'd go get a scary movie and usually like a funny movie.
As long as I can remember. Like
yes,
that's
like
we did
that
every
was
week.
every Friday night. And yes, our mom let us watch freaking Halloween and shit when we were like little. Whatever, we're better for it.
Right.
So video stores, we loved going in there.
Mm-hmm.
I would pay a lot of money to be able to do that.
And there's some places that still have video stores.
Like now you're like scrolling on
Streaming
Don't get Brad
services.
started on this, but you'll be scrolling and it's like you could have watched a whole movie by the time you find something.
Yeah.
Like I saw a TikTok the other day and this guy goes, "Oh, I love movie night," and it's him just scrolling and can't find a movie and then they turn it off.
2 hours
so
later.
There was this one specific video store we always went to. And long story short, there's this lady, older woman, restocking shelves. She had, if I remember correctly, like white capri pants on.
Yeah.
And she's like up on a little ladder restocking. And she had literal shit on her ass.
Poop stain.
So, hence the name Poops.
Yeah.
So this was like, how old were we then? I mean, little.
Like, well, this wasn't like much longer before we started hanging out with them. So I think we were like, I was like just starting high school,
Right.
I think.
But either way, years later.
Yeah.
Like years had passed.
You're
So
right. Yeah, it
we're
was
at,
later.
We're at Brad's house, and, you know, like we said, we're hanging out outside all the time. Well, there was this house, like, kind of catty corner from him, and they had a woman that came and walked their dogs for them. Come to find out, it's fucking Poops. And so imagine us telling them this story. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, because my mom's like, I know that lady. And Brad's like, what? Like, what are you talking about? It's like one of our first times over there.
Yeah.
She's like, I know that lady. And we tell the whole story. She figures it out. But one night, we were zombie hunting. And so we're already like, it's dark out. We're creeped out, whatever.
Yeah, like you make it scary because like you're using your imagination.
Right.
You know?
And like, we had like two groups. And I remember I think it was me, Mom, and Brad, and then you, all the boys were together. And so you guys were kind of all the way out. It was like, I don't know if it was zombie hunting. Didn't we play a game?
Well, it
where
was
we would,
because
like,
we
hide
were
and seek?
we were trying to get Brant to go through the cemetery with
Okay.
us, and he was scared.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone was a little already.
So we were
freaked
freaking
out.
him out.
She's always out walking this dog. That night, I don't think she had the dog, but she always
No.
walked it past the house. And like, you know, on a street, like a street light will light up like a big section of the
Right.
street, and then it'll be really dark. So Brad, and Mom are walking to come find you guys. She's just standing in the middle of the road.
That's so creepy.
Like
That's
it was
that's
actually
Dawn of the Dead
scary.
shit.
It was actually scary. Like we kind of stopped walking because she's just standing there, and Brad says out loud, like, "Hey, are you okay?" Like he's trying to get her attention. She would not react. All of a sudden, she gets down on all fours, and she's just sitting there. And he's still like, now he's like freaked out, but he's still kind of getting closer to her, like, "Hey, are you okay?" He thought something was wrong.
Right.
She eventually gets up and just walks away. Not
That's
a word
so
was said.
weird.
It
yeah,
was
because we didn't
weird.
see that.
No.
We ran into you guys, and you guys told us what happened.
Yeah, and I feel like Brant thought we were like fucking with him
He
because
did.
he was already scared.
Yeah, because Ryan was really good at like freaking Brant out when
Yeah.
we were younger,
Uh-huh.
and he did it on purpose all the time.
Right.
It was awesome.
No, but I was thinking about that. But the real scary story was at Sarah's.
Oh my god.
Do you remember that? When I tell this
I told
story,
Brad-
it gives me like I get watery eyes.
I told Brad that I wanted to tell this story at one point.
Uh-huh.
And I'll tell it again if we have like another guest, if we do paranormal stuff or whatever.
Yes.
But go ahead.
Do you want to share it?
You could start it.
I'll give like the backstory. So our brother Colin has a cousin, and we always had like family events there. Was it Easter? I don't remember.
No, this was Christmas.
It was
I
a
think.
cold holiday.
It was
Christmas?
Yeah, because yeah. So they lived on like a ranch, like a farm.
And normally all the parents were hanging out like towards the end of the night after we ate, and all the kids would be out playing, whatever. And so they had a big barn. They had stables there where they held people's horses plus their own. And so you have the big arena, you have stalls on one side and stalls on the other side. So we played this game called Light and Dark. That shit was fun.
So fun.
Talking about
It's like a
playing
cool
games.
game of tag.
So we had half the lights out in the barn, the far side, and then the lights on the other side. And you had teams, and you had to get to the opposite side without getting tagged in the arena.
Right.
So that's what we were playing. And
There was
then,
like 10 of us there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was
Everybody's
like-
cousins were there.
Because it was us three, Elizabeth and Jennifer,
Danny and Brian.
Danny and Brian, Sarah, and there was probably more.
Probably
It was
a couple
at least,
more.
It was at least that many.
Yeah.
And so we're playing this game. We played it all the time. This was
Every time we
nothing
were
new.
there.
And I remember, it's hard for me to like specifically remember, but I remember it happening in the far corner stall on the dark side. But Danny walked out and he said, "Something grabbed me."
Yeah.
And he was the oldest one. We thought he was like fucking with us.
Yeah, right. Because him and I were the same age.
Yeah, and we're like, whatever. And I remember him being freaked out. And I don't know if did you see it
You
too?
and I saw it.
Yes. Sarah saw it.
Yeah.
I think Colin might have because he talks about it.
I know the three of us did for sure.
But after we saw he was freaking out, we were looking at where it happened. And from what I remember, it was this like tall figure, black, like all black.
Yeah.
It almost looked like a peak in the head,
Yep.
trench coat style, and red eyes.
Red eyes.
And
like,
it slowly started
As
coming.
clear as day.
And like
And this was on the dark side of the barn, so like there was no other light.
yes. And so, like, literally everyone just sprinted out of the barn. We ran in, told all the adults. They're all drinking, having fun.
Yeah, they all think we're just
They think we're being stupid.
yeah.
And, like, I've questioned it as I've gotten older, but when I tell the story, I get the chills and I get watery
Yeah,
eyes. I'm
I
like,
do
there's
too.
no way that's not real.
Well, because remember, there's another part of the story where me, Danny, and Brian went back out.
Yes.
So the three of us,
All of us were
I don't
still
know if
scared.
Sarah went with us or not.
She might have because I'll get into it, but she has had multiple encounters with this thing.
No way.
You don't remember this?
I don't know.
Okay.
So me and my other two cousins, who are brothers, the three of us, and like keep in mind it's middle of winter, like, and we were hanging out. They have like a, a lot of farmhouses have like stairs that go down to a basement to the house. So everybody was back in the house hanging out in the downstairs. The three of us decide to go back out to check it out. And like, we're young boys. We're trying to be brave and like, be cool.
We're gonna go catch the
We're gonna
monster.
go catch the ghost. So we all go back out, and Danny's acting tough, and he's like, "Yo, if anybody's in here, and we're like, all three of us are spread out walking around, and we're in there for a good minute. Well, then we all decide, like, let's just go back in the house. Like, there's obviously nothing in here. The three of us start walking, and literally Danny gets his leg pulled from underneath him
Okay. Yes, I remember hearing.
and
this.
falls flat on his stomach and his face into the arena.
Fuck that.
There's a difference between tripping and falling and literally getting your legs pulled out from underneath you.
Yes.
Like your chest and your face hits the ground first.
Mm-hmm.
So he's covered in like arena dust and dirt. He freaks out. And the three of us, me and Brian grabbed him and we all ran outside.
Yeah.
And that's when we came back in the house and we were freaking out.
And that's when like those who saw it believed you, but everyone else thought you guys were just being
I know.
stupid.
It was stupid.
No, so I remember Sarah saying that it had happened multiple times. So do you remember the time everyone came over to Greenbrier?
Yeah.
I don't remember if I specifically saw it again, but down where the swing sets were, there was like another incident.
Oh yeah. Did this happen at night?
Yes. And
Yeah.
I think it was Sarah that pointed it out, and like some people saw it
Oh my
again.
God. Now I'm starting to remember this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't as obviously scary as the last time, but some people saw it, we went back, whatever, it was done. But then we're talking to Sarah about it, and she was telling us that she sees this thing all the time, which is really fucking weird. She's like, we'll be like driving in the car and I'll just like see it in the distance.
Oh my God.
Which, like, we won't get into detail, but does remind me of like some of Alexis's stories with paranormal shit.
Yeah.
Like, very much so.
You guys should both do. You and her should do one.
We should. Because we have a story
My
together.
fiance has had some crazy encounters with paranormal.
Like, she's got like a sixth sense.
Her and I did a Ouija board once in a park
Oh, fuck.
with her friend.
Nope. At least you were in a park.
I literally had tears in my eyes, like, because I'd never done one before, and that was crazy.
Yeah. At least you
Yeah.
didn't bring it into your house.
No. Oh, So the cool thing is like she knows how to properly dispose of one,
That's true. Yeah.
and she
there
like
is a
did the
way.
whole like
the closing
and burying
ceremony
it and doing
thing.
all that stuff
Yeah.
the right way and all that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that would be cool to have her on here to talk about that.
Yeah, because her and I, she obviously has all of the stories, but
Yes.
the one story when I went to a cabin with her and my mom and a situation happened.
Yeah.
And I didn't know about it till after the fact, and then I was freaked out. But I'm glad she didn't tell me till after the fact.
Yeah, that would be scary.
Because I would have been like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But yeah, some scary things.
Scary stuff. There's
And
so
no one
many.
believed us.
Yeah. There's so many stories too that we could tell, and I think soon enough we're gonna start having more faces on here to tell their firsthand stories of some things.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm sure you'll be back on here too.
We need to get together like us and Brant and Ryan to tell like stuff between all of us.
Yeah.
Me, you, and Colin. Would be
Right.
super cool.
Yeah, and I think eventually too, the more we do here, we're gonna try to expand and have more people on at once and have more equipment and microphones and stuff. So we'll eventually get there. But thank you guys if you watched today. We're on episode 7, and we have quite a few more coming here pretty soon, and you'll see some different faces. But thanks for joining us today.
Yeah. Thanks for
And,
having me. Also, follow the TikTok.
Yes, I keep forgetting to mention that.
Created a bar talk at Jean's Place
Yep.
TikTok. So look out there for some snippets.
Yep, and take care.
Yeah. See you guys.